Welcome back to SR Demystified series. Hello guys, welcome back to this SRE Demystified series. In this video, we are going to go through a little more deeper look at SLO. In our previous video, we have said about the best practices in SLO. So let's see some more details. There are two types of SLOs, achievable versus aspirational SLOs. Achievable SLOs are determined by historical data. They are considered achievable because you have enough data to inform a target that you will likely meet most of the time. If you use existing metrics to build SLIs, use the historical data to select a target you will likely meet in the medium and long term. And aspirational SLOs. If you have no historical data, collaborate with your product team to develop a best guess about what will maintain your user happiness. Begin measuring your SLIs and gather performance data over a few measurement windows before setting up your initial targets. Because aspirational SLOs are based on something you are trying to achieve, expect to miss them at a first and to redefine them as you gather data. And another important aspect to SLO is determine a time window for measuring SLOs. You must apply a time interval. There are two types of time intervals. Rolling windows like 30 days from a certain delivery date and a calendar window, say like January 1st to 31st. Based on this, there are two observations. First observation is source of outages. Outage originate from two main sources, problems with the service itself and problems with the service's critical dependencies. A critical dependency is one that if it malfunctions causes a corresponding malfunction in the service. Observation 2, the mathematics of availability. So let's have some math guys. Availability is a function of the frequency and the duration of outages. So we can measure it through outage frequency or the inverse. It's called mean time to failure, MTTF. Duration using MTTR, mean time to repair. Duration is defined as it is experienced by users lasting from the start of a malfunction until normal behavior resumes. This availability is mathematically defined as MTTF divided by MTTF plus MTTR using appropriate units. Implication 1, rule of the extra 9. A service cannot be more available than the intersection of all its critical dependencies. If your service aims to offer 99.99% availability, then all of your critical dependencies must be significantly more than 99.99% available. So the so-called thumb is called rule of extra 9. That says if you have a critical dependency that does not offer enough 9s, you must employ mitigation to increase the effective availability of your dependency. So for example, if you take Google, they use the following rule of thumb. Critical dependencies must offer an additional 9 relative to your service. In an example, if 99.99% is the aim of your service availability, the critical dependency should give 99.999% availability. This is called the extra rule of extra 9. Second implication is the math frequency, detection time and recovery time. A service cannot be more available than its incident frequency multiplied by its detection and recovery time. For example, 3 complete outages per year that last 20 minutes each result in a total 60 minutes of outages. Even if your service works perfectly rest of the year, 99.99% availability is not possible because that indicates 53 minutes of downtime per year. Let's clarify the rule of extra 9 for nested dependencies. If a service that has n unique critical dependencies, then each one contributes 1 over n to the dependency induced availability to the top level service, regardless of its depth in the dependency hierarchy. Let's take an example of a service A which depends on B and C depends on B again. Each dependency should be counted only once, even if it appears multiple times in the dependency hierarchy. For example, or in other words, count only unique dependencies. For example, when counting dependencies of service A in this picture, count service B only once towards the total n. Now, consider a hypothetical service A with error budget 0.01%. The service owners are willing to spend half of the budget on their own bugs and losses and half on critical dependencies. If there are n such critical dependencies, each dependency receives 1 over nth of the remaining error budget. Typical services often have about 5 to 10 critical dependencies, and therefore each one can fail only 1/10 or 1/20th as much as service A. Hence, as a rule of thumb, the service's critical dependencies must have one extra availability. Now, I have taken these materials from this very good paper, a 19-page paper, The Calculus of Service Availability. The link is here, so I strongly recommend the viewers to read the paper if you have interest in this topic. Until we see another topic, thank you. Bye.